Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, I had it as default, but for some reason, the default is like, no, we don't want to
Oh,
talk to you.
yeah. No, I found that years ago when I was trying to stream, and it was and I was like, why the fuck do you not work? And it's because
Yeah, I
obviously
know.
in the default is like you go into sound system settings and everything's set left, right, and center. And you're like, oh, for God's sakes! So why doesn't it just automatically say, "Oh, I'll listen to the speakers"?
Makes sense. Oh, mate.
Right. Okay. Well, let's get this intro done, shall we?
I've got nothing.
I've forgotten. How do we normally do
Ladies,
it?
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I don't know.
Dorks Down Under.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Dogs Down Under, season 2, first episode.
I
Very
was going to
excited.
say the very rusty first episode of
It's a
season
very
2.
rusty first episode. I'll be honest. I'm hanging by a thread today, realistically as well, because I was out at a party yesterday. One of Ellie's colleagues turned 50, so we went and stayed the night.
Nice.
Went to Waiuku, went and stayed the night in the hotel, and I drunk a large amount of beer. And I'm hanging by a thread today.
I like that. It's like, what, honey, we're getting a hotel. Oh, I'm getting blackout drunk.
Oh god, it was not the smartest of
But,
ideas.
but please drink responsibly, people.
Please drink responsibly. So, it's meant to be New Year, New You, all that jazz. Well, I'm still the big drinking idiot that I was. So yeah, I'm
Naturally.
looking forward to actually cutting down a bit, because now that my dad's left and gone back to England, I don't have to drink socially anymore. I can just.
I was gonna ask, did you have many drinks with your old man? And then I kind of went, well, they are English, so that's probably
We are
a
English,
given.
number one, and number two is my dad's a quite social drinker, so we ended up having quite a few.
So we ended up being incredibly social.
So, I'm about to say, should we talk about how has your Christmas and New Year's been, my friend?
Mine was great actually. For the first time in probably ever, I actually had time off over Christmas. So I used to work catering stadiums, stadiums catering jobs. So normally we'd have Christmas when I was at the MCG because of Boxing Day test. We wouldn't have that off, but sometimes we'd have Boxing Day test off, and sometimes we'd have New Year's Eve, New Year's Day off. So my work pretty much said on the 22nd we're closing, and the 23rd we're going to give you a day, and then you come back on the 9th.
All right, that was a
Oh
nice.
yeah, so I didn't know what to do with myself, and then my family decided that they didn't want to do a Christmas lunch on Christmas Day, and I was like, okay, cool. Which meant that we went over there for a small lunch on Christmas Eve, and then I had Christmas Day to myself. So Cherish and I went down to Hepburn Springs, which is probably about maybe an hour and 10, and it's got like these beautiful so these waters run through all this. So they've got this big underwater table that runs through like limestone and stuff. So it makes turns it into this mineral water that they pump up, and they're famous for that. And then right next door to that is Dalesford, which is this amazing kind of eclectic art community that's now so eclectic that it's like Byron Bay, where it's completely sold out and so overpriced.
Yeah.
So we went down there. We went for about a 4.5 hour hike, came back, had some fruit and stuff, and then we cooked up a feast for dinner. It was amazing. We did that, I think, 3 times over the Christmas break. I went fishing with one of my mates, Big J, which was great. Just sitting on the water and just fishing, and then didn't do much else actually. Like I genuinely just
No,
got up
well,
on TV and
that,
did nothing. I've never had
brother,
it before.
occasionally you do need some time off. I mean, nothing wrong. That
It was
sounds like
bizarre.
you've had a great time.
I didn't do any website stuff. I didn't think of anything other than Cherish's YouTube channels, which I did a few little videos here and there.
Huh?
It was bizarre, mate.
Hey, brother, that sounds great. I mean, God forbid. I mean, we. So it was funny because my dad landed, and of course the weather went to absolute shit.
Yeah, you told me that.
It was so bizarre. We were having decent weather, and literally the plane landed, and it was just horrific for the first week. It was like, oh my god, it just was constantly raining, and I was like, Dad, I swear that we do have sun, we do get sun. And he's like, I don't know why I left England. It's just,
I know, for that price, you're like, why am I even bothering?
Yeah, and then when it got towards Christmas Day, it was scorching. It was really hot on Christmas Day, and
It was like that here. The first time it actually been hot, we'd planned to go Christmas, and they said it was going to be 28. So we're like, yep, let's go hiking. End up being 35. I didn't think I needed a hat. I got a little bit of sun.
Yes.
Hence why you can actually see my arms versus my face. There's actually some color difference, and that's with bright white lights. And
honestly, brother, I know exactly what you're talking about. We got burnt a couple of times. Me and Ellie had a voucher last Christmas for the Waitakere Ranges Resort and Spa Hotel that we never got to go to. Although it's you say it's resort and spa hotel. A spa is a spa room. It's not a spa.
Oh, is it?
It was a very dated hotel that's apparently had a new renovation done. It's like, yeah, new renovation.
What'd you do? Put in like new taps or something?
Oh, it's some of the choices for decor. Yeah, very interesting. Lovely hotel, great, and the food was awesome. The service was shocking. It took nearly 2 hours for a 3-course meal to be served to us.
Wow.
And
considering that 9 times out of 10 entrees are normally served cold or warm, and they should be able to bang those out in about 8 minutes at max, even if they're cooking everything fresh.
Was as I said, it was an interesting thing, but it was good. It was good laugh. But we went during the daytime because obviously we got there and we luckily could early check in, and then we're like, oh well, we had a quick walk around. It was like, well, why don't we go to a beach? It's nice and warm, and of course we went to Bethel's Beach. Never been there before. Absolutely gorgeous, great.
No, I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, there is Piha Beach, where Lions Rock is, and then if you go up the way, you got Mirabai Beach, where Cathedral Cove and the Gannet colonies are. But literally, where Bethel's is like smack dab in between them, sort of thing. But it's gorgeous, and they have big waves. Loads of surfers go out there and stuff like that, and people are bodyboarding because it's got this big inlet that pushes all the water in, so you can actually do lots of little
nice.
the little ones and stuff. It's really good.
That's kind of cool, actually.
But me and Ellie got burnt to boogery.
Yeah, my pale English skin could not take it. In other words.
Ellie. To be fair, the sun just has to. Her skin just has to look at the sun and it gets burnt.
Yeah.
I'm normally quite good, but I got burnt to boogery, and I was like, Jesus, it must have been bad today.
I'm picturing a cartoon where you see these clouds, and then all of a sudden there's these clouds move, and the sun comes up. And then Ellie's just standing there white, and then the sun just comes out, and then it closes, and it goes back to her, and she's just bright red.
Yes, that's pretty much how I felt.
That's amazing.
It is, to be fair, it is because she is part Ginge, so I think it's that side of her, the good old Celtic area, just getting a.
Oh man!
But no,
I had friends like that.
Christmas Day was great though. We had I ended up kicking them out so they could. So I kicked out my dad, Ellie, and Eddie. So they went down to the beach with the kayaks, and they were down on the beach for a couple of hours. They had a great time because I was like smoking. I smoked a lamb's leg on the smoker. That was.
I was gonna say I smoked.
Oh yeah.
And they just paused. I was like, "Hello."
Hey, nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I did a big smoking rig. I also did bacon chicken on the barbecue as well.
Bacon chicken, how good is that? For anybody that hasn't tried it, it is literally the simplest thing. You literally season a chicken, you crack the beer, you drink half the beer, and then you just throw it up, to use one of Jordan's word, up the jacksie of the chicken.
Oh no!
Sit it upright. Just let it cook.
No, I don't do jacksie. You stick it up its ass. That's what it's. Let's just do that.
I was trying to be more political correct, but still have some English overtones. But yes, okay. True.
But yeah, we had So I did that. I did loads of salad and bits and bobs here and there. It was really pigs in blankets. I made a butt ton of pigs in blankets as well.
Man!
And I put them. I started them off in the oven, and then I threw them on the smoker for like the last
just
10
so the
minutes.
sausages get that nice little
Yeah, so you bite. Oh, it was.
I say this as still being a vegan, but yes, it's kind of funny.
But yes, it was a good day. I mean, and to be fair, it was hilarious while they were out. But I say, as Des has already seen a photo because my wife sent him. Is my the best, possibly the best gift my wife has ever given me, even though she's given me my son. The best gift ever was a bug assault rifle.
I was gonna say, sorry, Eddie, the assault rifle for killing flies, but yeah.
It is the best thing. We'll have to, whoever's editing this week can stick it up, but we'll get the photo or a video or whatever. But basically, essentially it's not even a pellet thing. You fill it with table salt.
It's almost like a longer version of a potato gun.
Yes,
it's almost like a rifle version of a potato gun.
Yeah, it's like a rifle version of a potato gun, and you fill it with table salt, and you cock it, and and about it, and it fires out. And I tell you what, it fires it out quite hard, man. And if you get really close to a fly, they because it's like a shotgun when he fires off. So you only got about, I would say, range. I would say maybe about a foot and a half, maybe.
Jesus.
But yeah, I'll tell you what, when you get hit by that salt at close range, it hurts, man. Because I thought I'd test it just to see, and yeah, I was like,
you shouldn't have used rock salt, mate.
Honestly,
use rock.
I swear to God, if you could jam a piece of rock salt in there, you could probably fire off like a sniper, if you could.
Oh my!
It is honestly, as I say, it has been the best gift ever. I keep running around the house, and I've been banned now. I'm not allowed to fire it at night. Because Ellie says the sound is so loud of it. Because
oh God!
It sounds so good.
A part of me kind of wants one. Like it's one of those things where I'm like, man, I kind of want one now. But like, just for anybody that is watching, like seeing him run around using this, was just insane. And like, it kind of did give me like he's kind of got like these supernatural Winchester vibes where he's just going around shooting these alien bugs with salt.
I'm telling you, brother. You know what? You know what happens? I literally because obviously like we leave the door open and loads come in, and then I start going on a rampage, and all that's happening in my head is I'm hearing the Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, as you say that, this fly has just flown and landed on top of my thing, and I'm like, you'd be gone if this was Jordan's house. Sometimes I reckon like Jordan's just like screw opening, closing the fly screen. Just let him in. Daddy wants to muff some stuff up.
It's so funny. It's just one of these gifts because the one thing is right. I mean, I can't stand flies. They annoy the hell out of me, and I can't stand it. Ellie, for the last couple of years, so I always buy fly spray, and Ellie hates it because of course I go mental, and she's just like, I'm sick of it. And then last year she got me one of them electric fly swatters. And that's it. And I tell you what, that's a good workout. That is when you're chasing flies around with that thing, man. But I've learned tricks now. I know how to get them really quickly. If you come right up from underneath them, so instead of swiping from the side, you go up and down.
Because they can't fly straight up. They got to fly. Right or left.
Oh my God, it's so good. But yeah, but then now I've got this gun. The only thing, she's now, obviously, I'm not allowed to use it at night anymore, and I've been told that once I've done a rampage, I've got to go get the Hoover, and Hoover up all the dead bodies.
Part of me is also picturing that pretty soon, like, Ellie's just going to be like, oh yeah, next Christmas, she's just going to bring back the fly spray and just be like, you're a friggin' menace. Here's the fly spray. That's all we want.
It's really funny as well how you say that you kind of want one. My neighbours across the road came over for some drinks with us. And I showed all in it, and he was like, "Oh yeah." And then we went over to theirs. When was it? Last weekend. Yeah, we went over last weekend, and he messaged me and said, "Jay, can I ask a favor? Could you bring over that bug assault rifle thing?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And I brought it over, and he was running around the house like an absolute grinning Cheshire cat. He loved it.
Oh,
and his wife was like,
"We're really good. We don't let flies in, but part of me now wants to just open this garage and be like, come in, flies here. I'm going to pour some sugar here for you." Shit's about to get real.
Me and Oliver discussing said, honestly, you know what they need? They need like a handheld pistol version, so you can double.
Oh yeah,
you got like this.
Weirdly, what did we get? Oh, Cherish got something. She was looking through Amazon Prime, and obviously you can get free like little 7-day trials, and she got MGM. So last night I was just sitting there, and it was like 37 degrees. So for Americans, that's high 90s.
And
it was 10 o'clock at night.
Really?
Like the low for today is meant to be, so the high of today is meant to be 20. Supposedly as of 4 o'clock yesterday it was meant to hit 20 and then just stay 20 degrees the whole day,
Wow.
which is I think about 68, 69 American, give or
Yeah.
take.
I
So
always find it weird the Americans are the only country that does Fahrenheit. I don't get it.
oh man.
Why?
I love when they're like I'm like, how many mils is that? Oh, it's 1 inch and 15 seventeenths. I'm like, in English, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Even I struggle with that when they're like, oh, that's 12 sixteenths. I was like,
Yeah. He's like, what? What the
what?
hell's a
You mean
16?
so in other words, like 2 centimeters? Oh yeah, for using that one, yeah. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But no, man, it's kind of funny. But yeah, I watched what did I watch? I watched because we got MGM, which has like a whole heap of cool old school. But I
Mm.
watched the original and the sequel to Tomb Raider, but then Angelina Jolie.
Oh, the Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider.
Mm.
Ah.
And now I kind of want though that gun stirrups with two of those bug assault things where I can just like,
Yeah, actually, that would be good. But yeah, as I said, it was just, and to be fair, ever since Olin came around to mine, he's been looking into them, and he's like, I'm gonna. And then and then when I brought mine over, and he was running around the house with it, and he's like, yeah, I need to get one of these now.
yeah.
I was like, good luck with that.
Honey, I spent some money on the credit card.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's not a cheap. That's when Elle told me how much it was. I was like, how much have you spent on this? I said,
God.
Elle, come on. And she's like,
I'm,
nah.
I'm scared to ask now.
I think it was like a couple $100. But yeah.
Oh, really?
But
Holy
apparently,
jeez.
apparently, mine's a limited edition model.
Oh, darling.
Yeah, apparently there's this like leopard printing on the side, but it's actually the spots are flies and other
Oh,
little
that's
bugs.
cool. That's
And
kind of
so
cool.
you look it up on the side, and if you stand from a distance, it looks like leopard printing, but it's not. It's obviously flies that you're shooting and all that jazz. But yeah, it's good.
Oh, that's pretty
It's,
funny.
as I said, it is a stupid little toy. It is. But I tell you
That you're
what.
going to get way too much fun out of.
But honest to God, it is so good. And the fact is, like, I've been, it doesn't just do flies. There was a couple of big spiders in the garage, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to test it. So
Let's give this a go.
blasted them away. God, I was like, jeez. Oh, yeah, I quite like this. So thanks.
It really is.
I'm waiting to try and find a cockroach. I want to see if I can damage. I want to see if it'll damage a cockroach. That's my next one. That's the whole thing. I need to see if it can deal with them as well, and that way Ellie will be especially happy, sort of thing. Because obviously I'm the guy who has to go catch him. If she can deal with them herself, and then we just got to get rid of the body. Job done.
Yeah, no, fantastic. That's what you want.
But yeah, no. So yeah, I mean it's pretty good. I mean we've got it's just great running around with it. And as I said, now we've got house rules. If you go on a killing spree, you've then got to go hoover and make sure they're all tidied up.
Oh, I've seen the one that you've got now. I've just googled it on Amazon. Where it's got the leopard print with the fly, and it's bright. It's like obnoxiously bright orange.
It is, yes.
Bug Assault 3.0 Orange Crush Edition.
Orange.
Damn, son.
Orange.
That's what it's called, Orange Crush Edition. And what's funny too, though, is they've actually got like these little individual. It's got reload. It's a 2 pound bag that proudly says "Made in America." I'm like, okay, so it's made in America, America, and it's large grain salt for salt shooter, with easy pour spout, for easy loading, non-baking.
Honestly, I could imagine what this would do if you could fire a bit chunkier salt. But that
Well, that's what this looks like. It is a little bit.
I'll tell you now though, the table salt does perfect job because it kind of it scatters really well. Like
yeah, and it's
like,
also micro fine, so it would just man.
So it comes flying out. I mean, about to say it's funny because you occasionally catch a fly and you've maimed him, and it's like right, coup de grace time.
I love on the side too, though. It's just got the original salt gun, and then in on this thing right above the trigger, it says "Do not shoot in face or eyes." I'm like,
honest to God, if you did get a shot to the anything like that, it would hurt, man.
Who is it? There's a guy called, I think his name's Houston something, and he's. I originally saw him on Tosh.0, which was like this kind of like skit show. And he does stupid things like where he's like, I'm going to buy this body armor and see how much it can hurt against a baseball bat. And he does like stupid things, and he just ends up injuring himself. And I remember him. I'm about 90% sure it was either him or somebody like him that did one of these salt ones where they put it up to their legs and shot it and stuff, and like it just embedded salt into his leg. And I'm just like, oh my God. If I can find the video, he's like this bodybuilder, so he's like a
Yeah.
big dude, and he's like, I'm gonna see against who does this against the world's most like toughest body or whatever it is. And then I think at one point he went with a UFC fighter that like literally just kicked him in the leg, he kicked him in the thigh, and his entire thigh goes purple, and he just drops like a bag of shit. But yeah, he's an absolute numbnut, and I kind of like him. But yeah, for whatever reason, I remember him doing it was either a salt one or something like this, where he was shooting himself in the leg with it, and just watching these little like almost like hickeys come out, and then he shot one at it, and then he ended up having to scratch some of the salt out of his wound. So these things fire, guys. Just
Oh yeah, they are certainly not a toy.
no.
They're certainly not a toy. And as I said, it's just good. It's as I said, it's just good fun. So yeah, so that's. I mean, I don't know if Ellie's going to be able to top that gift. It's going to be hard.
No.
It's going to be really hard.
She's always like, I can give you another kid. No, I want another. I want something better. You're like, wait, what?
I want a minigun version. That's what I want.
Oh, can you imagine that? You just sit there and you just hold it and you just turn this trigger.
It would be so good. It's just funny because Ellie then showed me the website, and the fact is you can get them with like a laser sight and all this. I'm like, it's a shotgun. Who needs a laser sight? You can't pick something off at that distance or whatever. It's it's pointless.
I love that. It's got because you can get it from Amazon here, and yeah, and they've actually got an Australian store as well, which is cool.
Oh, do they? Oh.
Yeah, they're actually cheaper with the Australian one. Oh no, maybe they're actually cheap. No,
It might be the older model. Yeah, because the only difference. I think the only difference between the my model and the older model is my model's slightly lighter. That's it.
Oh,
but yeah.
Well, we can get a 2-pack of the camo fly combo, which is actually like a camouflage one of the 2.5 for $140.
Yeah, that's not bad. That doesn't sound too bad.
I'm like, and that's the Australian one, so I'm guessing it's in Australian dollars. But like, what the hell? I don't know if I need this, but I kind of want this, and I think that's what it is. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, I literally want to take this camping. Just because it's ridiculous.
No, it is. Oh, here we go. High performance salt. I've just found it. Dear God, $95. Bug beam laser kit, $30. God, that's minimal. Who buys it?
So yeah, for anybody looking in, I think if you're an Australian, it's Bugger Salt.
Yeah.
So bugasalt.com.au is what I've got. But yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, and I won't say there's thousands of happy customers. There's a whole heap of people that have posted like pictures of their guns, and then there's a couple of these guys that look like Jordan right now with no sleeves on, looking really hunky and muscly, holding their fly killer.
What? It's good fun, man. It is.
You know what I want though? I want Jordan kneeling by a fly with his gun in hand, kind of like those ones you see in Africa, and I just want him to be like this, and we can try to blow up. We'll try to blow up the fly to make it a bit bigger, just because I think that would be funny as hell.
Oh God, that would be it. Right, if I'll see if I can get a photo. I'll see if I can get a photo. I need to go on a rampage this afternoon anyway. We've had the door open all day, so I'll be on a rampage probably after this podcast. So I'll see. If I can get a photo.
Oh, everything's sold out. What the hell?
Yeah, they're popular, man.
They are. They're surprisingly popular. See, I've got everything sold out. Oh, we've got one on sale, but it's the 2.5 combo, so you actually get 2. Yeah. So though we may not be able to have handguns, we could have 2 shotguns. How cool would that be? How many flies do you reckon you would have the strap on where you shoot and then you drop that shotgun, pick up the second one and keep shooting?
Honest to God, I'll tell you now as well, is the cocking mechanism. I mean, I don't find, because, I find it quite easy to do, but Ellie can't cock it. Ellie can't
really?
Cock it. And Eddie's like, Eddie has to literally balance it on his tummy and pull with both hands to get it.
Jesus Christ!
It is quite a strong air cannon push power, whatever it's using. Obviously, it's probably the same thing that the Nerf things use, but theirs must be dialed up a bit.
Yeah. My God.
But yeah,
So Jordan's kind of like Ulysses, and only he can cock his gun.
well, it was just it's just I'm about to say it's not my first time. I mean, I've shot shotguns. I know.
Yeah, so have I, but I didn't think they were that hard.
Yeah, well, no, I would say the cocking mechanism. I wouldn't say is any. It's not as hard as a normal shotgun. Like a normal, a 12 gauge. I'm about to say, that is.
I'm guessing what happens too, though, is as soon as you cock it, I'm guessing all the salt falls in. And as you try to bring it back, because there's so much salt and because it's so fine, it kind of gets caught. So you've got to be able to force it a little bit.
Yeah, well, no, there's so where you pull the thing in, there's a little catch, and basically when you cock it, then this little circle thing comes up, and it kind of holds the pot there, and sort of thing. And then that's going to be the salt that's going to go, sort of thing.
Well,
I think it works. But yeah.
Okay, so the 2.5 is there's only one available, but the 3.5 is sold out. Should I buy one and get a laser just because I think that would be the most? I hope the laser makes it just ridiculously stupid.
Have you not seen the I've seen images of it, and it just like
no.
It's like why?
It just fits over the tip, and then it's got this laser, and I'm like, how bad is your eyesight that you have to like go? Okay, cool. The red dots on the fly.
It's really funny as well. One thing I actually like about it is because obviously you don't know if it's cocked or not. But the way they've done it on this one is when you cock it, the little sight at the back comes up because it's got like sights as you would have it, sort of thing. Like if you were having a normal any form of Nerf rifle, they give you that little tiny sight at the back and the one on the barrel, and just before the barrel, and you line it up, and you've got it firing it straight. Whereas the Bug Assault ones, once you cock it, the little backside pops up, so you know it's loaded and ready to go.
Oh, that's funny. So you don't.
And then when you shoot it, it goes down, sort of thing. So yeah, so it's kind of you can tell it's as I said, it's just stupid. It's good. It's funny. Cracks me up.
I was gonna say, I'm looking at it right now, and it's got the 2.5, the reverse yellow one, and I'm like, do I really want to buy this?
Yes, you do. Yeah,
I do.
You do want one. Everyone wants one. Everyone, literally, I've brought it around to people's houses and they play with it and they're like, I need to get one. It's like, yeah, I need to get one. Why not?
It's ridiculous. It's stupid. And people, if you're watching, by all means, please let me know in the comments. But do I want to? I kind of do.
Yes,
and it's kind of dumb.
Yes, Dez, you do.
I'm trying to save for a house and be a good, responsible person.
No, this is like a couple hundred. It's $100-ish with delivery. Get it? Do it.
I know, but I don't want to get the laser. Yeah, I can only get the 2.5. It's the only one in stock, though.
It's the only one in stock. Oh, well, that's fine. There you go. That'll do. You'll be fine. You'll be all good.
I know. I'm just like, let's see what shipping is. Shipping's $20.
There's a gun rack.
What?
Yes.
How many do you...
Bug Assault gun rack. It's in the...
Oh my god.
It's... oh my god. It's flies as well to hold it.
Are you serious? Yeah. Well, because according to what I've seen here, the only thing they've got that's an accessory on the actual website, the Australian website, is just the laser.
I'm gonna snap you a photo and send it to you.
I must say though, this is the gift that I think we'll continue giving, and I feel like when Jordan does move, if there are any flies around, we may actually see him live shoot it on thing.
Honest to God, I can't wait to take it camping. It's going to be great.
That's what I think. I'm like, taking camping would be fun. And no offense, it's like, bro, can you pass the salt? Just get them to hold up their plate and you can just shoot it across the campfire to them.
Pretty much. It's going to be great. Oh,
you can just see the ad. Do you hate flies? Or do you want to salt your food from across the room? Do we have a thing for you? Bug Assault. Now in 3.5 with a new laser, so you can salt your meat but not get your vegetables. Like, I just feel like it's just so dumb, but I kind of want one.
What's this?
Oh,
Rapid fire.
It's Jordan.
New auto locks. Oh, you mean you can get? Yeah. No. All right. Okay. I thought you could buy you can make it fire quick. I'm like, okay, no, you still got to cock it. Damn. But yeah, I've sent you the rack. I've sent you a photo.
Oh my god. So for anybody who's watching, we will probably try to put a picture up.
We'll
but
get
it literally just. I don't know. Yeah, this must because this doesn't appear on the Australian side. but it literally looks like it's two flies that go into the room, so you can just put it on there. How cool would this be though, to make like kind of like get one of those like ornate boards, like you know how you see some people like mount their guns,
Yeah.
then have this in and have that? It would just be so stupid. And part of me also wants to get one of these and goes, I wonder if we can pull it apart and actually paint it to make it look more like a rifle or something like that. Like you know how some people get Nerf guns and they paint them up.
To be fair though, like one of the newer ones is grey. It's like it looks,
Yeah, that's the camo one I was talking about.
Yeah, about to say it does look like a proper gun. I mean, if you took out the orange, if you just got rid of the orange bit on it, it would look proper. I reckon it would look proper. It would look good.
We are not sponsored, but if Bug Assault does want to reach out to us and sponsor this podcast, I would be rapt.
Oh no!
But yeah, these things are insane, and just like I know after Jordan sent me videos of him, I went and searched it and had a look at other videos of it, and it literally is stupidly fun.
Oh my god! According to this, the cocking there's a comparison thing at the bottom that talks about the difference between the 2.5 and the 3.0. Apparently, cocking ease is half on the newer model. So if I don't think anyone could. I don't know if I'll be able to cock the 2.5.
Oh my god!
But mine's more powerful. It reloads quicker. Accuracy's up, and apparently hours of fun are the same. Though sadly.
Maybe I should wait for the 3 then.
Yeah, you'd be fine. I'm about to say, I guarantee they're probably going to be in stock soon. I reckon.
Yeah,
because everyone's.
Well, it's weird. It's weird that they haven't. I expected to go to an American website and go like, oh sweet, they're $70 American, and then you type in how much American to Australian is. It's like $200. Damn it!
It's so stupid. I mean, it's as I said, it's just really funny. It cracks me up.
So dealing with his father and shooting flies was pretty much what Jordan did over Christmas and in between season 1 and 2.
My mother-in-law's now landed as well, so we've got her staying. So we're back-to-back guests, which is fine. It's cracking on.
I know.
But yeah, it's all good. I mean, Dad landed safely back home. I was worried about him going through the airport and all that. He does again because we had a mission getting him here. Oh my god.
I know that. You're not the only one. So one of the girls at work flew home to Kenya, and was due to come home on the 6th. She landed yesterday. So her one flight got cancelled, but then there was only one flight direct to Australia. Then they couldn't get her on another flight because pretty much what it looked like they'd done is they're like, we've got 3/4. I know, let's cancel this one and have this one full. Yeah. Like, yeah, what about the other half?
Yeah,
and they're just like, I don't know.
We'll fix it in post.
Like seriously, so she ended up flying from Kenya to South Africa to Perth, then had to stay overnight in Perth, and then fly from Perth to Melbourne.
Jesus, I mean, it was one of those things. Funnily enough, with because Tash, my mother-in-law, she came via San Francisco. And,
nice. I love San Francisco.
Yeah, so, Virgin Atlantic, Air New Zealand should have been simple, because it's London Heathrow to San Fran us. But she landed at San Fran, flight's cancelled. Literally, she got off the plane and they said, flight's cancelled, we're rebooking you for, just make your own accommodations and stuff. And she was like, no, no, you've cancelled my flight. You're supposed to fix me up. And do all
That's what I thought, but it feels like I've heard a lot of people, like obviously when we threw to Tassie, like my flight got cancelled, and then we had some crazy lady on the plane, and then we had some crazy plane lady that wasn't on the plane, and it was an absolute nightmare. And I was meant to be on a 1:00 flight, and I got home at 10:30 at night, and they didn't offer anything.
Yeah,
like not even like, oh, we'll give you some water or something on the plane. It was just like, no, everyone still has to pay, and I'm like. You listen to all these people and they're like, oh yeah, this happened to me and then I got this. And I'm like, I feel like now the industry is just like, screw it. We're not honouring any of that.
About to say, getting Daddy was an absolute... I mean, the fact is that there was a bomb scare at Glasgow airport. Fine, right? Things are going on. We understand. But the fact is that his flight comes and literally lands. He's still stood outside. And no one... basically, the airport representative said, right, all flights are cancelled, go. Just go. Don't, and rebook it. But the fact is, none of the airline no one from any of the airlines came out and say, "Oh, right, if you call this number, we'll get you rebooked for tomorrow or whatever we can." Blah blah blah.
Oh, right.
You know, and it's only when I woke up the next morning and I said, "Oh," and I said, "Oh, when's your flight?" And he said, "Oh, Mia says that it's going to be the same time." And I was like, "Okay." I didn't question who Mia was. Stupid idiot. But then, of course, literally, went online. I was like, well, of course, I went onto my emails and I figured, the flight details are probably in the spam folder. Not there. Quickly searched, can't find it, and I'm like, Dad, so when they gave you it was rebooked, I should have got some details. Why have you not got me? He went, oh no, I didn't speak to anyone from Lufthansa. I said, who the hell's Mia? Oh, she's my friend back home. Dad!
Oh God.
I was like, oh, Dad, no, we got to speak to Lufthansa because you can't just turn up for a flight. You know,
Yeah.
that's not going to work. And so,
Well, my flight got cancelled yesterday, so I'm just going to be on the next one yet. No.
But then literally he rung, so then he rung Lufthansa and they got him rebooked. But of course, they booked him to go via America. And I said, Dad, I'm going to ask a simple question. Please tell me. They said, oh, and we've sorted your Esther. He went, oh no, they said something about that and said about a girl called Esther, and we've got to sort it ourselves. And I was like, oh, what time did you fly? So I went on, I applied for his Esther, and then after an hour, I was like, he's flying in 5 hours. What the hell am I gonna do?
So I
literally, I rung my mate Stevie back home in UK. Luckily, he was up, thank God, because he used to be a trolley dolly. And, And I was like, if anyone can tell me about flying. Now, logically, I was like, well, hang on. I know they shouldn't let him board the plane if his Esther isn't approved, logically. Yes. And Stevie was like, yeah, no, they can't. They're not allowed to by law now and stuff. And I was like, oh, sweet, good. But he says, right, when did you apply? I said, I applied an hour ago. He says, right, they are quite quick and good because it's just the transition one. So it should get granted, but give it another hour. And if it's not approved, ring Lufthansa and say, oi, you should have done this when you rebooked my dad because it's less than 24 hours and you get higher priority than someone not doing it, you know, and blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. So, I could have given them the reference number and they could have, they should have been able to do it. But luckily, about 20 minutes after I rung Stevie, I then got the email through saying application approved. I was like, thank God.
Jesus. That's the one thing that I found weird about traveling. So I was flying to Canada, but we had obviously a stopover in Hawaii. And then we needed to get a visa for America. And then they had to approve it. So they said, do you want 30, 60 or 90 days? And I said to the girl, I'm like, what does it matter? And she's just like, I'm literally flying out in 2 hours. Like they're literally refueling the flight. It's 4 o'clock in the morning and we're about to walk back around and hop straight back on the plane. They're like, because that's what we need to do. I was like, is there a pay difference? I was like, no. I was like, then give me a 90-day one. She's like, but you don't need 90 days. I was like, if there's no price difference, let's do 90 days because screw you, hippie. And sure enough, she stamped me with 90 days and she said, okay, you've got 90 days to leave the country. I'm like, yeah, not a problem. And then we walked back around, walked through here and stood at the gate. And
Oh, Dez. It's alright. This is where we put the technical difficulties screen up. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Jordan here from Dorks Down Under. Just coming at you during this technical error break, just to let you know that you can engage with us on Twitter and our YouTube channel for direct comments and questions on the podcast. You can also find us available on all good podcast forums such as YouTube, Audible and Spotify. Thank you very much for your time. Now, back to the podcast.
What's happening?
Hello.
Fancy meeting you here.
Fancy seeing you here.
Won't lie, the first part of I don't know what happened then. I was telling a story about how I made some poor woman make me a 90-day American visa, and then my Discord froze, then my Streamlabs froze, and then I couldn't touch anything and everything was just doing it. But the best thing was Jordan's face, and I wish the recording worked because his face was just like this. Because I'm guessing...
Oh, just me, yours is just as bad.
And and then everything, like literally I could not do anything, so I had to restart it. And then it's like, we're restarting it. I was like, that's awesome, but why is it still spinning? And it just span for like an hour, and I was like, thank you for that. And then eventually we've the technical difficulty is over.
The technical
And this is
difficulties.
why you should not cross the American government, because if you
Obviously,
do,
obviously the CIA didn't like you, or it was
FBI, open up!
the FBI. One of them was like, "Oh no, we got to shut this conversation down. We're not allowing
oh
him
man,
to
now what?
speak."
Okay, we're definitely using your recording because mine's now doing the thing that it was doing before, where it's like, oh, can you check the defaults for the what's it call it? So it's literally, so not only has it shat itself like nothing else, it's also changed all my settings on Streamlabs. Streamlabs, if you're listening. I know. I noticed this with
it's good.
Streamlabs.
This is good news, Des, because this week's episode is sponsored by.
Yeah, I know. By Streamlabs, yeah, I know. But I swear to God, man, every time I use Streamlabs, it's like we need to do an update, and then that update just destroys everything. And then it's like, oh, and everything you've spent all this time setting up, yeah, we're gonna screw that over too. I was like, awesome, thanks, mate.
Oh no, I know exactly what you mean. I every time there's an update, I'm like, please don't miss anything. Please don't miss anything. And it's like, and sometimes it's good, and sometimes like, oh, everything's fine. That's good. That's good. And then other times like, oh, why has it changed this? Why is my sound not working? Why have I not noticed? Why is this suddenly? Oh, it's like, oh, for God's sakes, it does it.
Literally, what I do is I wait to see what people write on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then if it's like, oh, it's all good, I'm like, okay, cool. Then I'll actually update it. But yeah.
But yeah, no, God forbid. No, it happens all the time, doesn't it? But yeah. Anyway, so you were getting a night. Well, are we allowed to? Do you think should we chance it again and see if we can beat the FBI this time?
Oh mate. All I was saying was that I got a 90-day visa just because she said there's no difference. And literally all I did was walk around and hop straight back onto a plane to fly to Toronto. So FBI, I wasn't saying anything bad about your country. I was just saying that I got a 90-day visa for a maybe 45-minute trip to America. But yes. The large Hawaiian lady thought it was quite funny because she said, because I said, why wouldn't you just give people 30 days? And she's like, because I have to ask what you want to apply for. So I was like, all right, I'll have a 90-day one, thank you. Oh,
That's
wait,
silly.
still on. There's no FBI.
No. You might have gone on lunch. You might have thought he dealt with you, so you might have gone on lunch.
I don't know what, like literally, but everything froze. Like the recording stopped but didn't save it, or it saved a file but it's 0 kilobytes.
We need a technical difficulties card for our editing now because
I just
we've had this happen a couple of times now, and it's kind of like I think we need a technical difficulties card.
We just need an Australian internet sucks balls sign. I think that's what it is because oh my God, it's just I don't understand it. It's just so weird, and it just seems to. Like every now and again, like you go a little bit fuzzy, and I'm like, "How? There's nothing else on the network." And that's the one thing that I've said when I plan the new house is I want a data port inside the place that's going to be my study, and it's going to be the main one, and that's what I'm plugging my computer directly into.
Yeah.
So hopefully I will still have horrible internet, but I'll have less horrible internet than Wi-Fi.
Yes. No, I've literally every room in my house. Yeah. So my office.
Now you've
office
frozen
media room.
again. Oh God. Oh no.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so what I've realized too though is those reading off Discord, if you minimize Discord or if you put something in front of it, it goes, where did it go? And then it just freezes Jordan. I'm like,
oh no, I think your settings have been changed and it's not recording. I think it's recording the screen and not Discord itself.
No, because it doesn't actually, like, say for example, if I put like a picture of the bug assault on it over the top, it doesn't show that. It still shows your face, but your face just gets paused in whatever you were doing. I'm like, I hate this computer right now. Like, nothing wants to work. But just so you know, I do think the FBI was listening to our conversation because while I was waiting for everything to reset, I clicked on Instagram. It had a picture from my friend. It had an ad. Bug assault ad.
Phones are listening,
Bug assault ad.
Everyone knows the
phone. My phone's listening.
The phone is always listening. God forbid. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, no, the God, yeah, that is just too funny. I mean, yeah, but definitely, I need you to make a card. We need some form of funny image. You know, like The Simpsons has the guy who gets, the guy who's drinking and all that jazz. So we'll have something. We'll have to have something.
Oh, we'll have to figure out something. But yes, so that was my trip through America, and obviously your dad had a similar thing, which was
I mean, it was.
it just I just remember being on the phone with you, and no, I wasn't on the phone. I messaged you just randomly just to say something, and then I'm just like, and you could just hear in the tone of the message came back. He's like, I can't deal with shit. I'll talk to you later. Even without saying it, I was like, oh, and then I get the message afterwards. I'll talk to you in a sec, and then that's it. I was like, oh god. And then obviously we hear the story now that his dad has yes traveled all over the countryside.
It was a very horrible 48 hours, and of course, when he was flying, so I could speak to him. He sent me a message at Frankfurt. But because of course, part of the European Union, you can still you can still use your data in the EU, so it was fine with that. But then of course, radio silence all the way from Frankfurt to Auckland, and he's coming via America, and I'm like, I thought, right, well, we're just gonna, So I woke up, and then I picked Eddie up from was Eddie off school? No. We went and no, that was it. Yeah, he got off school and we were going to pick something up, and he went, "Oh, where's Pop Pop?" I said, "Oh, well, let's just have a look." I said, "Because I haven't heard from him since Frankfurt," and just of course, so I look at the flight status, and it says flight has left the gate. It's taxiing now. And I'm like,
oh,
well, I hope he's on it. And he's like, "What do you mean?" He said, he surely sent a message saying that where he's landed." I went, "Nope, we've heard nothing since Frankfurt, Edward." He's like, okay.
Jesus.
And of course that night, so I went to bed early because I have to pick him up at 6 a.m. And I'm like, right.
In theory.
In theory, but all my brain's got, I'm just like trying to keep calm. Just relax. It's going to be fine. He's going to be on the flight. And of course, he's just not connected to Wi-Fi. He's not done anything like that. That's all that's happened. And of course, so he finally walks through, and big hug and blah blah, and did all that jazz. And then I'm like, "Oh yeah, thanks for all your messages." He went, "Yeah, I've sent you messages." I went, "No, you haven't." I said, "I haven't had anything since I haven't had a word from you since Frankfurt." And he was like,
oh, God.
"No, I sent you loads when I landed in San Fran, and seen some photos as well." I went, "Dad, where did you send them?" "Oh, through WhatsApp." I said, "Dad, did you connect to the Wi-Fi at the airport?" "No, you just send it." I was like, "Oh God!" I said, "Dad, WhatsApp
I love older people.
WhatsApp only works when you're connected to the internet." And he was just like,
"No,
it doesn't." I'm like, "Dad, listen to me." I was like, at that point, I was like, "I'm gonna strangle you."
Yeah. I was gonna say, and then as soon as he walks in, connects to your Wi-Fi.
Second I connected to the Wi-Fi, my phone went mental.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
He was freaking out at me. God, it was like a nightmare. In fact, that's one of my newer things as well. Is I've got a new phone. I have.
Yeah, I want to buy one.
My old one. The problem is the port was starting to go on it. And,
okay, yeah.
Which was very annoying, sort of thing. It was pissing me off, actually, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I managed to get it all. So I did a bit of research and stuff like that, but I found this one, which is called the Nothing Phone 1.
Oh, I've seen that one where it's got the clear back, yeah?
Yeah, it's got a clear back. It does loads of different weird things. But
won't lie.
I'm trying to get the. How do I get the thing to do? Hang on, 1 second.
Don't you plug it in and it should...
Sure, more than sound. Oh no, that's for ringtones.
This is going to be like us trying to teach his dad that Wi-Fi comes on by the looks of things.
Flip to glyph. What's this?
Flip to glyph.
Okay. All right. So hang on. Oh, so if I do that, no. Basically, this thing lights up on the back, right? And
Yes,
and
I know, I've seen it.
And you can set it so it lights up different ways to indicate different things. Now, it's quite a good phone, I'll tell you that, right? It's all right. The one thing is
specs on it. Because I looked at that one because I'm thinking of just going, screw it, I'm just going to get a Samsung S22 because I just recently found out that at work we can technically get a phone a year and get it pre-tax because I work for a non-for-profit.
Yeah.
And my phone is about to die, and I'm like, Maybe we should get one.
It's its own operating system. It's set memory in it, so you can't upgrade the memory. So I got the 256 gig one. I've got 111 gig. Basically, because I just copied everything over. 8 gig RAM. What else? 8 gig RAM. Decent screen size. Blah 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 blah. You know, it's actually genuinely good. And yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, playing Pokemon Go on it. Honestly, it's like playing on a Switch. It's so smooth. In fact, hang on, I don't know if I'll be able to. I don't know if you'll be able to tell the quality.
Yeah, so I'm just reading the spec. So obviously it has a 1B in color hue, a 6.55 OLED screen, HDR 10 plus, which is top of the line thingo, and it also has an adaptive 120 hertz refresh rate.
So I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Oh no, that's
yes.
You're off. But yeah, it is like, so if I click on this Clefairy, it is slick, it's quick, it's really good.
Did you get the 8 gig or the 12 gig?
I got the 8 gig RAM. I got the 8 gig one because it was like an extra. Because I have to buy this phone. I obviously bought it outright, and it was like with the screen protector and the case, it was like $1,000. I think it was like $1,050 in total with delivery and blah blah.
Wow.
Blah. So
yeah, because I've got it here at the Australian one, and it says one phone, so you can either get it in black or white.
Yep.
And the 12 gig plus 256 sold out. Notify when it's back in stock, but it's got $8.99 Australian here.
Yeah, so it's about the same. It's pretty much the same price, sort of thing. Because there's normally a couple. That's about right. Sounds about right. But yeah, but no, it's. I mean, in terms of phone performance, the camera is amazing on it as well.
Like, yeah, it looks like it has. So it's got a
good
50 megapixel camera, which is insane.
I mean, Ellie was. She's been. Because obviously my port started to go, so she's like, "Well, I'll start keeping an eye on mine." So she's been debating about what. Because I mean, I've got a wireless charge pad, a fast wireless charge pad for it now, because I bought that as well. And that thing's really. I mean, literally, I can put it on. And say it's a 50%, it'll be fully charged probably within 20 minutes. It gets hot.
Yeah, no, because I'm looking at a new phone. Because I was tossing up whether to get an S22, but this one here, so the camera was one of the things that I was looking at, because I looked at the Pixel 7 Pro, I looked at the S22, the S22 Ultra. iPhone I kind of glanced at and went, because I don't like that. I looked at a few Oppos and they weren't bad as well, but eventually I was just going to go with the S22. But this one here seems to have some really good things. So it has a 50 megapixel camera, so it has 2 advanced cameras on the back.
Yeah.
So it actually has dual camera, which is really good, and it has a 1.8 aperture, which is pretty quick. Like my camera, like my decent camera, which is my Canon M50, has the current lens it has on it has f1.8, and the other one, the lens I want to buy, has an f1.4.
Okay.
So it's a pretty decent camera, and it can do 4K liquid motion at 60 FPS. So 60 frames per second at 4K. That is insane for a camera.
I'll tell you now. It's got a slow mo built into it as well. So I tried it out with Edward running at me to see what it would look like.
You know what I'm picturing
really
now?
Good.
A video of Jordan slow motion running with his gun, and then just going.
If that's what you want, we can organise that for you, Des. You know,
that's what I want.
That's what you want. All right, okay.
That's not even for the podcast. That's just for my own personal use.
Personal usage.
Yes.
Sorry, do I need to be half naked as well? Does that help?
Oh man, yeah. Like just sleeveless like that. Have the guns out, and I'm like, yeah, that's hot.
But yes, no. The gun shows are getting more defined now. I'm doing.
I know, man. I was gonna say you look like you've lost weight, which is great.
I'm just shy of 14 kilos since we started doing the weight loss. So I'm just shy.
Damn, son.
I'm nearly knocking on the door of 14 kilos, which is good.
That's awesome.
So I am.
That's amazing.
I'm cracking on. But yeah. I mean, obviously, it's gone off the rails a bit because there's a thing called Christmas and alcohol and beer. And it's funny, we went to a German restaurant with Ellie's mum and my dad and Edward, and we had a big family meal as my birthday meal. And this German restaurant, of course, I knew I was going to go mad because they did proper steins of beer. And
naturally,
and so
it'd be rude not to.
Oh God, I I warned Dad. This is the thing I always warned Dad about when we were going out eating this in, reminding him that down here it's like American-sized portions. So if you're ordering something, it's going to be big. And of course, he didn't question when the girl said he ordered a schnitzel. I can't remember what kind of schnitzel it was, and she said, "Oh, do you want a single or a double?" And he went double. I went, Dad, I'm having a single. Ellie's having a single. Are you sure you don't want a single? Nah, I'll be fine.
Don't talk to me.
These schnitzels were bigger than my head. I shit
Oh
you
my
not.
God.
They were huge, and I'm like, because she brought the singles first, and I was like, oh, thank God I ordered one.
Wow, that's
And my
insane.
dad suddenly went, oh God. And sort of it's this piled up, and he was just like, I said, are you all right, big man? He went, I'm going to be champion, mate. And
Please tell me he finished it. That would just be
he
fun.
got 3/4 of the way through the second one, and he was like, I'm done. I said, well, I'll have it. It's good schnitzel. I'm not letting it go to waste. I'll have it.
Right.
It was delicious. It was so good.
I must say, when I come over there, I may not have to be vegan.
Oh, honest to God, Paul, there's no point. I'm going to be, the second you get here, I'm going to be smoking up meat just to wind you up.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, he's just gonna be like, yeah. I'm gonna walk in, and the first thing he's gonna do is just slap me with some bacon.
To be
Just
fair,
whoosh.
I'll tell you what, that pork butt I did, that I sent you a photo of, that came out so good. Like,
Yeah.
so good. It wasn't super, it didn't go into, I think I got too hot too quick. So it wasn't super tender, but the
Got ability of doing that.
the smoke ring all round it though was so good, and we did pork, we did loads of different things with it. I even cut off a load and sliced it all up and gave it to my mum. And
Wow.
they had it as cold cuts with salad and stuff, and suddenly my mum was like, "Oh, is this that new smoker you've got?" And I went, "Yeah." And she went, "Oh, that's good. When are we coming? When can we come round for the warm stuff?" And I went, "That's fine." So now my dad's gone, so he's like, "Well, how about I book you in for next weekend?" She went, "Great." And she said, "I've already got the meat for you." I said, "What meat have you got?" She's got an entire side of sirloin.
That's nice.
It's good. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with sirloin. I'm assuming I need to just put a rub on and let it roast naturally or something like that. Because
It sounds bad though. The sirloin you probably don't even want to do. Like, you'd much rather want to grill it. But like, yeah, you know what I would just do? Cut it in massive, big, thick inch.
Yeah,
things
I literally need to get on TikTok and see what I do, because it's a full size, sort of like that. And
Yeah, I
and
know.
I'm like, I don't know what to do with that sort of thing. Like a big pork butt was easy. That way, I just looked up and it
Yeah.
says, right, you could cut through the fat calf, moisten it, do all this, and then you go spritz it and blah blah blah. And you did it, and so I did all that, and it was really good. And then, but and if it's the lamb I did, I basically marinated it with olive oil and garlic and thyme, and then literally stuck it in the smoker and roast it. And of course, all that garlic just caramelized from the heat. And I was like, yes.
Damn, son.
And that was so good. That went into, we made a ragu out of it, after a couple of days with it. It was
Is that magic?
magic. But yeah, so I've got to do a full side of lamb at some point, and I need to get some ideas. So I need to go on TikTok. TikTok, honestly, TikTok is the go-to. If I don't know, if I want to know how to do something, I go to TikTok now rather than YouTube. It's quicker.
I know you're obsessed with TikTok.
Hey, dude, the reason why I like it is because, one, when you go on YouTube and you try to do it, you'll get the explanation video, but it's 20 goddamn minutes long. That's the problem. Yeah. Whereas TikTok, if I want to know something, it'll give me, it gives me options like YouTube does. But the fact is that then suddenly, each video is maybe a minute to a couple of minutes max. Yeah. And it's like, great, I can quickly flick through. And then by the time it takes me to watch this one YouTube video of how to do it, I've seen 6 different ideas, and I've got an idea to go, oh, right, okay, I know what to do now. But what flavor profile do I want? So I've already made my mind up. So that's the reason why. Yeah. That's the reason why I love TikTok. It just you get more ideas quicker, sort of thing. Yeah. But yeah.
I found, because like obviously I watch some reels here and there, and they just kind of do my head in, because I find I just get lost in them and just keep scrolling, and I'm like, I have to actually stop myself and be like, no, this is just not good. Yeah. But like I find that quite often they're like, he's just put all this stuff in, and you have a look and you're like, there's no measurements. There's no what there is for a lot of them. I'm like, just frustrating.
Yeah, no, it is. But luckily on TikTok, I think the one thing on TikTok is that you get some creators who do. They either put it as the first pinned comment or something like that, and so you've got
That's all right.
so you got your measurements, or they quickly like say pause and it'll have it listed on the screen quickly, and you're like, all right.
Which I think is great, yeah. And then or else you just have these. I love watching these ones, and I don't know whether it's on. I think it's on Facebook often, where you watch the actual videos, and it's just these southern guys that just hit it with some Danos, and they just pump this Danos thing, and I'm just like, oh my god. And it's just these country guys making the world's most country thing, and obviously they've been sponsored by these guys because they've got these massive tubs, and they seem to pump like 3/4 of the bottle in it, and I'm like, that can't be good. And the amount of sodium and stuff in there has to be horrible. But I'm like, you do you, bro.
It's honestly, it's why I make my own rubs because I saw on I did see on TikTok, and a guy says, "Don't buy rubs, make your own, because this is what you can, and he just shows you, and it's like, oh, it's just like paprika, salt, pepper, it's really easy.
Yeah, it's pretty basic.
It's pretty basic, and it's like, yeah, sweet, okay. Rather than go and spend it in a jar, I've already got all the jars. Just
and mind you, though, also the good thing is if you are watching your weight, or if you are trying to do that, you can actually lower the sodium in it.
Yeah.
And sometimes, too, a lot of these places, like you use a teaspoon of your own rub versus a tablespoon of the other, often because they bulk it out with salt.
Pretty much.
But yeah, hopefully soon we'll have the Dorks Down Under rub you out. Is what we're going to call it.
Rub you out. I want to rub you out by Dorks Down.
There we go. That's what you want. Everybody's just like, no.
Oh man. Oh, God forbid. Right. Well, I think that was a very good first episode, Des. I think we'll end it there because otherwise we'll just keep rattling on. And plus, I'm getting hungry now. We're having chili and nachos tonight, so I think so.
Actually, we're having something similar. Cherish made this. She made it on Christmas, and she originally. So we went for my birthday. We went out to Veggie Bar, which is this vegetarian restaurant that's like. I've been going there for like probably 20 plus years. Like my sister and I, whenever it was her birthday, we had this thing where I'd take her out to this veggie bar because she's been vegetarian since she was like 15, 16.
Yeah.
So for her 16th birthday, she had plans that night, and she's like, I want to go out for Thingo. And because I work nightclubs, I didn't have anything on during the day. So, and her birthday's so close to Easter, we ended up going there, and then it became a thing. And they do some amazing food. Like even when you eat there, you have to tell yourself, shit, this is vegetarian. And they make this awesome burrito that I've probably also been having for 20 years. And Cherish is like, I could make something like that. And she made it for Christmas Day, and obviously she put it in wraps. And it was amazing. Like I was wrapped, it has beans, lentils, different things, and it was amazing. So much protein. And I was like, by the end of it, I was like, I think I've just put on like 16 kilos. But the other day she made it, and the bread that she got, she didn't like, and it was too stale. And when she tried to wrap it, it just kept splitting. So she gave up on it. Yeah. So she literally just put on a bed of rice, and it was just like this amazing Mexican chili con carne. And then I just happened to have a bag of corn chips. So I was eating it with corn chips, and it's the most amazing thing. And I'm like, I'm having the exact same thing. Yeah. And I'm like, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, no, that's I mean, what I did is, so this time I've made my chili with pork instead of beef. And I've also added in, because our neighbour went away, and they gave us a whole like bits of veg they had left in their fridge to use up, and one of them was they had a massive bag of chilies, and I was like, what the hell am I gonna do with this massive ass bag of chili? So I've made chili oil. I made 2 jars of chili oil with it, and basically and I gave them 1 jar, and so basically in this chili I took out some of the chilies that have been marinating and added a bit of the oil in. So the oil's there, and then I've chopped up some of the chilies and thrown them in.
Chilies are the greatest things. I love chilies. Oh, yeah. Like I remember one of the girls at work, who's Vietnamese, she made her own chili oil, and same thing, she bought some in. And I put a massive dollop on it, and she looks at me, and she's just waiting to laugh. And I just sat there and kept eating this dish. And she's like, how are you eating that? I'm like, I grew up in Footscray. Like, we grew up in an apartment building that had 38 families, and we were the only non-Asian, and most of them were either Chinese or Vietnamese. So I've grown up with a culture. It's all I know. So that kind of food, I'm like, yeah. And I know that I can take a tablespoon, and I'm like, I know that hers isn't going to be as hot as one of my other friends. So I'm like, tablespoon's fine, and just kept eating. And I'm like, oh my God, it's amazing.
Oh, well, that's good. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to us. Two guys rambling away as usual. If you do,
And luckily for you, you didn't have the hold that we had.
No,
for when my
we don't have
computer
the
just went
hold. I'm
and
sure.
died.
I'm sure editor Jay can get on that and make it look very slick. But yeah. But
He
yeah,
says that it's just going to be my face for 20 minutes doing this.
But yeah,
amazing.
if you want, ladies and gentlemen, if you do enjoy following us, say if you can obviously interact with our social medias. We do have a Twitter and our YouTube channel. We also are available to listen on any of the Amazon thing. I do discovered today that apparently that means we're on Audible technically. I don't know if we are because I don't have an Audible account, but logically, if you're on Amazon Podcasts, which we are, you should be able to listen to us on Audible. So we're on Amazon. We're also on on iTunes. No, we're on iTunes. I can't remember. I can't even remember who we're with. That's how we're on a variety of well-known podcasts.
So I've just typed in Audibles and put Dorks Down Under.
Yeah.
And it looks like we may be, but even cooler is it says www.amazon.k.jp. So I'm guessing Japan and Dorks Down Under is there.
Oh, we're in Japan.
So we're huge in Japan.
Konnichiwa? No, that's not. Yes, it is. Yeah,
Us all.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo.
Oh no, yeah, he's like we're absolutely useless.
Oh, we are useless. But anyway, we want to say much love. Welcome to the 2023. We are planning on having some good fun with our podcast this year.
Yeah,
sort of thing. Then we got obviously
and trying to make it a bit more sharp.
We're hoping obviously to get maybe some guests on eventually and stuff like that. It's going to be some good fun. I'm hoping that we can get some guests now and again. It would be nice. Mix it up.
Why not?
I'm sure we can find surely we can find some lovely roses to go between us two thorns, or something like that.
Mate, it wouldn't be hard. That wouldn't be hard. Like we could find just a smaller thorn. We'd be pretty okay.
Anyway, so much love, guys. Welcome to 2023, season 2, Dogs Down Under.
Peace.
Peace.